and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2023-24 season. My name is Dan and it's time for my Game Week 2 team selection video where I'll be showing you my scores from last week as well as my transfer plans and team changes for Game Week 2. If you do enjoy this one, please do drop a like, really helps out the channel, and about 50% of you are not subscribed right now, so what are you waiting for? Get subscribed for daily fantasy football content. So a quick run through my Game Week 1 scores, and I think it was a pretty successful week. I had a pretty template team with one last minute change with Salah coming in for Gabriel, as we heard that Gabriel might not be starting in that opening game against Nottingham Forest, and it paid off with Salah getting an assist despite the lack of clean sheet. But I don't think the battle between Salah and Gabriel is over just yet. Obviously, we had a few differentials in our team. Johnston and Maddison performed really well for me, so I'm glad I went for those two changes from the template. They both bought me some nice returns there, some nice points that hopefully has made a little bit of difference, putting me slightly ahead of many of my rivals. So 86 points in total. We've got a new rank of 170,000th in the world. This is an amazing start. Anywhere in the top 1 million for Game Week 1, I feel like is a really successful opening game week. So really keen to build on this one. Let's see if we can get into the top 100k by the end of Game Week 2. Let me show you exactly how I plan on doing that. Okay, so we've got one free transfer. We've got nothing in the bank. Let's see what we can do with what we've got. Well, in goal, we're going to start off with Matt Turner. So ordinarily, I would be playing Johnston in goal, but Johnston plays against Arsenal. Turner plays against Sheffield United. And obviously, a lot of the time, I do say I hate rotating goalkeepers, but I feel like in the situation like this, where one of your goalkeepers plays one of the weakest teams in the league, and the other one of your goalkeepers plays literally one of the strongest teams in the league, then it makes that decision a little bit easier. So we are going to be backing Turner against a Sheffield United team that could struggle to score. I actually thought Turner did quite well in that opening game against Arsenal. He made a couple of saves, and maybe we could get save points as well as a clean sheet against a Sheffield United team that are actively in the market for attackers right now. They don't really have enough in their forward positions, so we're not expecting too many goals from them at the moment. So I am backing Turner, 4 million goalkeeper. I think he could actually do pretty well. Nice to have on the bench and bring in situations like this. Into defense, we have got Ben Chilwell, a superstar of Game Week 1. He looked really impressive, didn't he? Playing pretty much as a left winger attacker for Chelsea, despite the fact he is listed as a defender. So really happy I went in on him in Game Week 1, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who will be looking to bring Chilwell in for Game Week 2. We've got West Ham next, which is definitely a game where you can see some clean sheets, but would I be really hoping for attacking returns in this game for Chilwell? I think it's less likely than in last game, because I feel like West Ham away from home could be a little bit of a tough defense to crack. But let's see what we can do in terms of clean sheets. I think it is definitely on the cards. Pervis Estupiñán, another star of Game Week 1, super attacking, constantly creating for his teammates, which means even if he can only get himself a clean sheet or only get himself one assist with no clean sheets, he's going to get those bonus points as well because of the chances that he's creating for his teammates. Super attacking left back, pretty much again plays as a left midfielder despite the fact he's listed as a defender in FPL. These are the kind of cheat code players that we want in our team. So really happy to go over Estupiñán, this time against a Wolves team that just do not know how to finish their dinner. They can create chances as much as they like, as we saw against Manchester United, but they do make it very easy for their opponents when they can't quite finish those chances. So it's going to be difficult for them to score against Brighton. I think we could be looking at a clean sheet here as well. And another clean sheet from Salah. Maybe Crystal Palace away from home, a defensive team that is obviously have lost Zaha from the team recently. Maybe they're lacking a little bit of spark, Elise as well, not there. So this could be another opportunity for Arsenal to try and get a clean sheet that they failed to get in the first game. It was close in the last game for Arsenal to get the clean sheet, but this time it could very well happen against this Crystal Palace team. So Saliba, I don't know if he's a massive attacking threat. Yes, he got an assist last game week, but I'm not expecting that to happen every week. If we can get something from him in terms of a clean sheet and maybe a bonus point or two, I'll be pretty happy with that one, to be honest. Let's move into midfield. We have still got Marcus Rashford, and I am backing him against Spurs. I know a lot of people will be looking to sell the Manchester United players, but I actually think this game is a little bit more open. It suits the way Manchester United play a little bit more, because Spurs, although they did some good stuff in attack and they have been looking good in attack all pre-season, they are a little bit chaotic, they're a little bit open, and that is going to cause the odd problems when they are trying to defend against players like Marcus Rashford, who does have that quality. I'm hoping Rashford is going to move out to the left-hand side of the forwards, so therefore he will be able to get a few more chances in those wing positions. That would be pretty nice. So even though Spurs sounds like a bad fixture on paper, I actually think there's more opportunity in this one than there was going to be in that Wolves game for the the Man United guys. So actually feeling okay about Rashford. Not quite ready to sell the Man United guys yet. Let's wait until at least the Nottingham Forest game before we make a final decision on that one. And maybe when we've got that Arsenal game for United, at that point, maybe we can make a final decision there. But Saka is going to be our next player. Speaking of Arsenal players, I do think this Crystal Palace away game is going to be tough for the Arsenal attackers, but I do want to keep them ready for that Fulham game in Game Week 3. So not really looking to transfer out the Arsenal players, but this could be a game where they do struggle a little bit. I'm more confident actually in the Manchester United guys than I am in the Arsenal guys. But Saka's still a top quality player, and I am backing Saka to kind of create and score maybe from that right-hand side. That does seem to be a weaker area in the Crystal Palace side so far from what we've seen in that opening game, but not much data to go by yet. We've got Bruno Fernandes. Penalties, please. That would be very nice. We saw a lot of penalties happen in Game Week 1. Maybe we can get one from a Manchester United team. That would be pretty good, wouldn't it? We could get some cheesy points from Bruno Fernandes, but no, obviously Fernandes is created a lot of chances against Wolves. His teammates weren't able to finish, took the odd shot as well, so it's not like he is completely a dead player, and it's not like he's done really, really badly in Game Week 1 necessarily. I think the whole United team were disappointing in general, but I'm hoping in an open game like this, there's going to be lots more opportunities on the counter-attack for these kind of guys who do really, really well in. Let's see how Manchester United set up, but I think there could be goals in this game, and I think it could be the game of the weekend. It really, really could. And we've got Martinelli up next. Again, not super confident against Crystal Palace. Martinelli is probably the player I am least confident in my entire starting 11 this game week, and if I was forced to make a transfer, maybe it would be Martinelli to be the guy removed from my team, or maybe a player who I could potentially bench. But at the same time, it's Martinelli. We know he has those flashes of brilliance where he does so well, so not super keen to remove him from my team, to be honest. So yeah, we're probably going to keep with him, stick with him through this Crystal Palace game, and then wait for that Fulham game where the damage really could be done with a player of his ability. And we'll finish off the midfield with James Maddison, and a lot of the chances we saw Man United conceded against Wolves, a real weakness in their team, so it would seem, was through the middle. And guess where Maddison is? Always through the middle, creating, taking shots on from range, trying to get in and around the box. You imagine that if Maddison had the same opportunities as Cunha did against Manchester United last game, he could do pretty well in that game. He's going to be on all set pieces as well, which is really nice, an extra avenue to get those FPL points. Maddison, one of the most impressive FPL assets in Game Week 1 that a lot of people are now keen to bring in. I'm very fortunate that I kind of brought him in nice and early, tried to get ahead of the game a little bit by bringing in this differential player, and hopefully he could do quite well for me. But, you know, guys, if you've got a Martinelli and not a Maddison, and you maybe want to make that switch, Martinelli out, Maddison in, I feel like something like that could potentially work, but it's kind of risky when we get to Game Week 3 when Martinelli plays Fulham. So that's the only consideration there. I'm kind of glad I've got both, but I imagine Maddison will do better than Martinelli this week, and I'm quite excited to see what he can produce. Once again, I don't think it's too long before Maddison is in everyone's team, to be honest. I think he could become an essential pick very, very quickly. Glad to be ahead of the game on that one. And up front, guys, we have got Erling Haaland. Of course, we have. Who else could we have? Against Newcastle, I'm still backing him. He's a top quality football player. He showed that he's still doing the business in that opening Game Week 1 against Burnley there, scoring 2 goals. He only needs 2 chances to get 2 goals. That's what he's all about. Super finisher. And I don't think Newcastle are completely impenetrable. We did see Aston Villa create a few chances against them in that opening game week, despite the fact that they battered Aston Villa. But still, there is going to be opportunities for Haaland, and if he gets those opportunities, he will score them. You just know that for a fact. Plus, an additional penalty taker. Who says no? And we've got Ollie Watkins, speaking of Aston Villa, as our final player in our first 11. Everton at home. This is a super fixture. Really nice for Aston Villa. Hopefully, we can see Watkins do a little bit better this game week. 5 points against Newcastle. I don't think it's too bad considering that is a tough opposition. But now we've got Everton. That's a much better fixture for Aston Villa. And I'm hoping Aston Villa are going to bounce back with Watkins at the helm, at the arrow, the kind of spear point, the spear point of the arrow, or whatever that phrase is. I'm sure someone will let me know in the comments. But feeling pretty confident about Watkins this week. I think he can build on his 5 points from last game week. Hopefully get a goal or 2 in the second game week. So excited about that. On the bench, guys, we have got Johnston, of course, not backing him against Arsenal. Baldock against Nottingham Forest. That's not the worst player to have in reserve if you absolutely need it and you have some kind of disaster in your starting 11, I guess. We have got Archer here as well. I'm not expecting to get minutes. The only reason I put him in my team is because it looks like he might be getting a move to Sheffield United. And if he does, he will be playing regularly for them. So, yeah, I'm hoping Archer gets his Sheffield United move, to be honest, but it still hasn't happened. So, maybe I need to start worrying on that one a little bit. We could see a drop in value for Archer if that doesn't happen soon. And, of course, Kabore does not have a fixture for Luton Town, but you know what that means? Double game weeks in the future. So, yeah, Kabore, no fixture right now, but we don't need him. We've got Baldock here to cover us if things go wrong. And if we hear any early team news, of course, we will be making last-minute changes, just like we did with Saliba. Of course, you'll have to join me for my streams, my deadline streams, to find out if there is any last-minute team news, and I do have to make last-minute panic moves. Let's throw a captain's armband on Erling Haaland, vice-captain on Ollie Watkins. No transfers for me. I don't think I want to make any transfers because I feel like I actually really like my team right now. I would rather roll this transfer in to next game week and see if we can make some changes from there. I built this team for more than one game week, so let's see how it rolls for this second game week. I think it could do pretty well. The only thing that could potentially change my mind on transfers is the My Team AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning transfer suggestions to see if that kind of tool thinks that I do need to make a change. I guess let's find out. Okay, so I am, of course, on the Fantasy Football Hub My Team tool, which suggests which players to play, which players to transfer in and out, and which captains to go for as well, using machine learning. It's a really, really powerful tool to help you make those FPL decisions. It's basically like having someone give you advice, but you can just get the advice with a click of the button. It's super easy. And if you guys want to try this out for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description to try this out for free, but also I'll leave a link for 50% off your Fantasy Football Hub subscription down in the description, just in case you want to get the full version to get all of the amazing tools at Fantasy Football Hub. But let me give you a demo anyway, because I want to see what it says about my team and see if we've got any good suggestions. So first of all, looking at my Game Week 2 team, I can see my team rating is up to 99%. So it was 98% before, but I think the AI has recalculated my team and now actually thinks it is becoming more and more optimal, more and more of an amazing team. And I'd be interested to hear, guys, where is your team rating at now compared to where it was before? Are you also up a little bit? Anyone can beat 99%? Any of you guys 100%? Who knows? But there are a few weaknesses in my team. Saliba is a player that the AI doesn't seem to like. It seems to like most of my other players, midfielders and forwards. It really, really likes, expecting them to get good scores. Estupinian as well. And interestingly, I did want to make a quick note on this. Turner has got 4.1 predicted points against Sheffield United, and Johnston has 3.6 predicted points against Arsenal. So that tells me that I am making the right decision to go with Turner as my goalkeeper for this game week. Really nice to make that decision there. Maybe you guys have different goalkeepers and you can try out which one is the best one to play for this game week. Baldock first on the bench looks good as well, but overall it's saying my team looks pretty good, really well set up. 99% team rating, 97% team rating for this specific game week, so it could barely be better. There's very, very, very few changes I could make to actually improve my team right now, which is exactly what I want to hear. But I am going to still see if the AI has any transfer suggestions for me. Wow, okay, well, this can only be good news. The only suggestion it has for me so far is to swap out my bench forward for another bench forward who is predicting to score a few more points. It's predicting Osula is going to score more points than Archer, and I do agree with that. Whilst Archer is still at Aston Villa, that is going to be the case indeed. So yeah, in general, the AI has kind of identified my team is good to go. It doesn't really need any changes in the starting 11. I could improve my team technically if I was to make a transfer on a 4.5 million forward on my bench, but I can take that decision to say, hey, I don't want to waste my transfer on something like that. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to check to see if there's any other suggestions here as well. Okay, I've got another suggestion from the AI, and it is saying that I could potentially swap Saliba to Colwill. But the interesting thing is here that it's predicting Saliba for more points than Colwill in this specific game week. So Saliba 3.3 in game week 2, Colwill 3.1 in game week 2. So it is actually suggesting from game week 3, it actually looks like Colwill's got slightly higher predicted points. So maybe that is a good suggestion of a transfer I can think about making next week, taking out Saliba and replacing him with a Chelsea defender. That's really good to know, but not going to make that move right now. But I respect you, AI. You've kept it simple for me, and you've let me know that you like my team, basically. So that's how my team is looking. Make sure you are checking this tool out in the description, and let me know what percentage your team has for overall. I want to see what your team ratings are. I want to see if anyone can beat 99%. I'm really happy about that, and hopefully using the AI's tips, I can continue to keep my team at a very high machine learning AI rating. That's what it's all about, keeping your team optimum with maybe a little bit of spice here and there. Thanks so much for watching this video. Like I say, do make sure you leave a like. Do subscribe if you haven't done already. I would really appreciate that. And I know a lot of you guys are not subscribed yet. What are you waiting for? So much FPL content to come on this channel. Check out Fantasy Football Hub in the description. And if you are still bored, you want more FPL content, why not check out that video? It might be pretty good. Go check it out. I'm sure it's an absolute banger. Click on it now. But there we go. Thank you so much for watching once again. And I will see you later, mates. Bye-bye.